Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the course on Introduction to Fusion HCM Cloud or Fusion HCM Cloud. Myself, I am Shiva, and I'll be the trainer for this course, right? And I have 15 to 20 years of experience in the product development and implementation of EBS and in the Fusion as well. So I'll be taking the course for you. So what we'll do is, before we look into what we are going to cover in the course, I just want to understand about everybody. So please, everybody, please just let me know about yourself in a line or two, and then what is the expectation from the course, so that I can pace it up accordingly. So we'll start with Akshi. Hi, Akshi. Akshi, you're there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi.
Good morning, sir. This is Akshita.
Yeah.
So I have been working as an associate consultant for 2 years in this Oracle Fusion client.
Mm-hmm.
And now I wanted to shift in another company.
Okay.
So I have very less modules awareness. So I just wanted to have more knowledge in it.
Okay.
So that for shifting, it will be useful.
Okay, sure. Thank you, Akshay. So what are the
In
current?
both technical and functional.
Yeah, I'll let you know what we are going to cover in a moment after we finish the introductions. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, next, Madhumita.
Hi all, good morning. So I'm Madhavita. I've been recently joining in Fujitsu and working in Oracle Fusion benefits module like for past 2 years. In order to get more knowledge related to the other modules in Fusion, so I have joined this course to get explore lots of modules.
Okay, thank you, Madhumita.
Both technical and functional wise.
Okay, thank you, Madhumita. Next, we go to Preetika.
Hi, sir.
Yeah, hi.
So I just completed my final year of college, and my dad is actually a consultant in Oracle, so he recommended me this course. My expectation is like I want to know this field.
Okay.
And maybe get interested.
Thank you, Preetika. Next, we go to Rajeshri.
Good morning, sir, and good morning, all. Me too. I just completed my engineering this year, and one of my brother is working at Oracle, and he suggested me to do this course, so that you can learn about the cloud, which is very in the trend. So I chose this course, sir.
Okay, thank you, Rajeshri. Then we go to Raju.
Yes, my name is Raju, and I have 2 years of experience in IT industry, which is relevant to the Oracle Fusion HCM as a functional consultant. And I just wanted to explore the more modules in Oracle HCM and as well as technical side. I want to explore.
Okay, thank you, Raju.
Yeah.
Then we go to Ram.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ram. I've got some experience on the ERP space, but I'm a newbie into the Oracle Fusion and HCM modules. My expectations are more to do with core HR, recruiting journeys, and absence management from a functional side. And from a technical side, my ask is about the integration space and under the hood configurations.
Okay, thank you, Ram. Then we have, after Ram, we have Raju.
Yeah, just now I gave myself.
Oh, okay, thank you. Then we have Rakesh. Hi, Rakesh. Rakesh?
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Rakesh, can you introduce yourself and then just explain about what is the expectation from the course?
Yeah. So actually, I'm Rakesh. I'm from Hyderabad. So I work for TCS. I work for Adeco project. So that is a fusion implementation.
Mhm.
End to end. It's a staffing company. So basically, we are implementing, the core HR, the payroll as well as the absence for that particular client. It's a staffing company. And specifically, so actually, last 1 year back, I switched from I have previously EBS experience and I worked with different modules like AP, AR, some part of the GL, OL, FM, and core HR, and recently I switched to Fusion. So
Okay.
I would like to get something like hands-on experience on fast formulas, specifically on fast formulas, on something like EB extracts.
Okay.
So there I
Okay.
would like to expertise myself.
Okay. Thank you, Rakesh. Then we go to Rani.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm a PeopleSoft expert. I have a PeopleSoft HCM co-HR experience in IT, and I would like to change my career into Oracle HCM Cloud because I got opportunity to work with the Oracle team as well in my current project. That's why I want to elaborate my career.
Okay. Thank you,
And
Rani.
expecting more into these sessions. Thank you so much for.
Thank you. Then we go to Sai. Sai. Sai, you're there. Okay. We go to Shruti Pahuja. Shruti, you're there.
Yeah. Hi, good morning, everyone. So I'm Shruti. I'm currently working with Soprast area. I work with PeopleSoft project, so have fair understanding of core HR modules. But to get more opportunities, I want to learn this Fusion HCM Cloud.
Okay. Thank
That's all.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shruti. Then we have Suki Sangha.
Yeah, hi there. So I'm an HCM project manager. I've done a couple of implementations. I've heard about the actual functional side of things, and then also I'm looking forward to doing some certifications as well.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for introducing yourself. Nasir, I think you joined a bit late. Can you introduce yourself and let me know what is the expectation from the course? Nasir, you're there. Yes.
Currently working at Oracle. I mean, I was my company that's the operation was acquired by Oracle, so I was hoping to switch to HCM and transitioning to that career.
Okay. Thank you, Nasir. Yep. Ram, can you mute yourself? Okay. Thank you, everybody, for introducing yourself. That was a good introduction. So before we move, let us look into what is the content of the course. So we would initially start with security, basically, how security is handled in Fusion. And then we would go with the FSM, functional setup and manager, export and import process. And then we would start with global HR or core HR, the entire core HR, how to set up every module inside or every entity inside the global HR. Then we cover the entire absence management as such. Then we cover the payroll aspects, like we talk about end-to-end payroll implementation, or what are the steps which are required for the consultant to implement payroll, right? And then we talk about goal management, which comes under the talent related part. Then profile management and performance management, they come under talent modules. Then we look into technical aspects of the data loader and the spreadsheet data loader, which is used extensively to bring in the data. And we have BIP and OTBI reports. So we'll talk about how to build BIP reports, how to build OTBI analysis, and how to build OTBI dashboards. Then we will cover how to understand HCM extracts and how to build new HCM extracts as per the requirements. Then once we finish the payroll part, we will look into the fast formulas, which is related. So we look into how to understand a fast formula, what are the components of the fast formula. And then you would need a little bit of, the understanding of certain technical aspects before you jump into fast formula. So we'll give that introduction and ensure that you understand how to, how to begin understanding a fast formula. First of all, before you write a fast formula, right from scratch, you should know how to understand the fast formula, what are the components, the structure, and what is present in that. So we'll look into all those aspects when we go to fast formula topic. Then we have the workflow approvals and notifications, how to set up the approvals and notifications. We are going to look into all those things. Then we also will look into the customizations with the sandbox, which is available, right? Various types of customizations which are available. Then in the second session also, I would cover the entire navigations in Fusion HCM, so that, before you take each topic, you better know which is the navigations which we will cover in that particular topic, right? So first thing is the introduction. The next session is going to be navigations, and then we'll look into security, and then we will have the FSM, export and import, and then we look into all these functional and high level to medium level technical aspects, right? More depth into the technical, I will provide you the references from where you can explore more, right? We have various tables for each and every module segregated out in the documentation. So when we go through functionally each and every topic, you will be easily able to understand the tables associated with that, and then you can explore more from there. Then this course is actually a 50-hour course, basically. It will take 50 hours to finish all these modules which are present over here for me. And it will be every day from 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. in the morning. The timing for this batch is fixed. Okay, the timing will not be changed. It will be 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. from Monday to Friday, right? And these sessions, whichever are being recorded, they will be they are auto-recorded sessions the moment you join the Zoom session, and then these recordings will be available with you lifelong for viewing. Right, you will be given an access to the Google Drive folder once you register into the course, and then you will get access to all these recordings, whichever I'm going to take throughout the entire course, right? So it will take close to 2 to 2.5 months for me to finish all these modules in depth, basically. So it will give you an entire overview of full HCM, or almost all the modules in HCM over here. We are not adding recruiting over here because recruiting itself is a separate course which is available with the institute. So if you are interested in recruiting module, we have Oracle Recruiting Cloud. So you can talk to Prasad on that, and then you can enroll into the next batch of that Oracle Recruiting Cloud thing. Right now, this is about only HCM. Okay, so Oracle Recruiting Cloud is a separate course. We also have Oracle Integration Cloud and Oracle Cloud Infrastructure as separate courses, which are being taken by the institute. So if anybody is interested, as I see some of them are interested in integrations. So if anybody is interested in integrations, integration cloud, so you can just talk to Prasad on that, and then you can register into those courses. Now, we have not put what do you call benefits and time and labor over here, because these are the major modules, because these current modules which you see on the screen are the major ones, and if we add those modules, the course sessions would cross beyond 3 months. So in the best interest of the candidates, so whoever joins the session, we have not included those things as part of over here, right? So we can touch base on few aspects here and there when we encounter, but not fully as such. Like for example, benefits is not there over here. Okay, then the other aspects we are going to cover, like global HR, absence, payroll, talent management, then security, export and import, loading data, extracts, formulas, approvals, sandbox, customization. So all these things we are going to cover in the course. And as I said, you will have access to the Fusion instance as well. So via the spreadsheet, we'll give you access to the Fusion instances. Now these Fusion instances are the demo instances which are provided by Oracle for learning purposes. So you don't have to worry about which instance is available when. You will be given access to this particular Excel sheet kind of a thing where you will have the instance name and various users with the password. The password remains the same for all the users of one particular environment. And for HCM, we have 20 implementation user accounts which are available in every environment, starting from HCM IMPL 1 to HCM IMPL 20. You can use any user account with the same password mentioned over here. So sometimes Oracle changes the password, once in a week or once in few days. So the updated password will be available over here, and you will have access to the Fusion instance. So once you have access to the Fusion instance, you can just log in with the user account details and the password. You could also create your own user account as well, and then you could work it out. But if the instance changes, then you will have to recreate your user account and then use it. Okay, so this instance, whichever you see, you will be given access for 3 months starting from the day of the course. After which, if you want to extend it, you can pay for some nominal amount with subscription charges, and then you can extend the access to the Fusion account for practice purposes. Okay, so this instance will be there. You will have access to the recordings automatically for lifelong, and then the PowerPoint slides. And I have some a good amount of notes which I will be sharing with everybody throughout the course or at the end of the course. So once we finish the course, you will have the entire notes for each and every topic whichever I have. So the way I take the topic is, first of all, I give the overview of the topic. Then we look into the navigations. Whenever I say navigations, we have different types of users. You have employees, you have admins, you have line managers or managers in the company, then you have admins, and you have the consultants. So we'll take a look at different login or different navigations of each of the type of the user, and then we are going to go into the functional setup, and then I'll show you the setup of all these things, whichever is mentioned over here. All right, so this is about the course, the content of the course, the timing of the course, and the availability of these recorded sessions. The sessions are auto recorded, and whenever you join the session, everybody will be muted automatically. That doesn't mean you should not ask questions. You can raise your hand, ask questions, and then I'll be answering them. It's because the session is auto recorded, right? Whenever anybody joins the session, it will show it in a muted mode as such, right? So what I'll do is I'll just open up now for any questions anybody has, and then we'll take forward. Yes, Nasir.
So I am completely new to coding for actually FP&A. So I wanted to know, should I be like knowing any prerequisite course or something like that, or like when this
No,
from scratch?
Your initial few lines I couldn't hear, so can you just repeat your question?
Yeah, sorry. So yeah, I'm like new to Oracle HCM and the whole ERP thing. So I wanted to know now, like, should I know any prerequisite courses beforehand, or like, are there any
Not
prerequisite courses that
required.
I should take, or this
There
will
is
cover
no
everything from
prerequisite for
scratch?
this. There's no prerequisite for this. The thing you have to
Okay.
understand is every company will have to manage its employees and will have to manage its finances, right? And will have to work on the talent of the employees, right? So any company will have to manage its entire enterprise, resource planning. ERP is called enterprise resource planning. So in a big enterprise, you are going to have, these aspects in every company, like recruiting, tracking and paying the employees, then absences of employees. So there would be some enterprise planning software. So you have various ERP vendors like, Workday is there. Then you have SAP, then you have PeopleSoft, then you have EBS, then you have Fusion Cloud. So depending on which vendor they choose, these all aspects are part of the life cycle of Fusion HCM: recruiting, tracking, and paying, developing the skills. So that is where your learning cloud comes into picture. Then assessing the performance, the talent, and then rewarding, like benefits, rewards, and then retiring, like the global HR. Administrative transactions. We are going to look at the administrative transactions, various administrative transactions, and journeys also, which are there. So all those things are part of any ERP software. So for this, you don't require any prerequisite. You just have to understand that if you are implementing this ERP software, which is Fusion HCM, for any company, what are the things which you should know as a consultant? First thing. Second thing, if you are already working as a support consultant in that particular Fusion HCM space in some project, you will enhance your knowledge on the other modules. So this is the basic aim of this particular course. So you can become a functional consultant, and if you have technical knowledge, then you can also become a techno-functional Fusion HCM consultant, right? So you don't need any prerequisite. If you know SQL or PLSQL, it would be an added advantage because when you build BIP reports, you would need to be able to write SQL queries, SQL queries. So if you know that, it will be an added advantage. Otherwise, you'll have to just learn that, and then you will have to work on the BIP reports. But for other modules, it is entirely functional first. And then if you want to become technical consultant, then yes, you should know how to query tables and how to write the queries and all those things. Yes, Nasir, is it clear? Yeah. So any other, anybody has any questions, guys? Yes, Ram.
Yeah, Shiva, you mentioned about technical skills. So for fast formulas and UI customizations, do we need any coding prerequisite, or it's fine?
No, not required. For fast formulas, if you know, as I said, PLSQL and SQL functions, I think that would be sufficient. It is a very high level language, so you should be able to read it and understand it. And you should be able to write it also.
Okay, perfect. And one other thing, Shiva,
yes.
Will you be giving us any help with the certification, the Oracle certification?
Not through the course, basically. I think you can know what certifications are there, but not through the course.
Okay.
Yeah, Shivam, one question. So basically, how much this course will be technically covered and functionally covered? So is it more into technical or is it more into functional?
It's more into functional, and if you want to become technical, then I can give you the reference of the tables and the views for every functional module we are going to cover. You can explain, you can explore more from there, because if we go more into technical, basically, we will not be able to finish the course.
Okay. So basically, I'm looking something more into the HDL concepts.
Yes.
Extracts concepts.
Yes, I will cover in depth.
Fast formulas.
I'll cover in depth those things, so you will be able to easily understand. I can show you references of sample HDLs of every business object. Then for every module, see, generally people don't have the habit of looking into the documentations. So I will point you to the proper documentation where you will get answer to your questions within minutes. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, Akshita.
I just wanted to, just wanted to know that what is the demand in market for this Oracle Fusion HCM?
For Fusion HCM, there is a lot of demand in the market. As I said, every software company or any company, if they want to manage their enterprise resources, just a second, there is a power cut. Okay. Sorry guys, there was a power cut, so everybody able to hear me now? I just changed the internet. Yes, can everybody hear me now? Hello? Yeah, sorry guys. Hello? Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, there was a power cut. Sorry guys, I had to switch the internet.
I thought my voice went.
Yeah. So somebody was asking the question. Yeah, there is a lot of demand in the market for Fusion HCM. As I said, every company has to work on their enterprise resource planning. So they would need to go for any of these vendors, and then Fusion HCM is booming in the market. So definitely core HR is a must. Then it's not just about hiring people, you need to be able to manage the administrative transactions as well. So we look into administrative transactions of the core HR. Then you have to pay the employees. So you will look into the payroll implementation. Then you have to implement leaves or absences for those. So definitely there is a boom in the market, and this is getting more and more customers. So yes, there is a lot of demand in the market.
Okay. And also another question. For this course, what certification can be done after completing this course?
See, these
For
modules you have, each of these modules have their own certifications. Like, for example, Global HR has its own certification, right? Absence Management has its own certification. Then Payroll Implementation Consultant has its own certification. So Talent has its own certification. So depending on which certification you want to achieve, based on that, you can explore that topic more and then attend the certifications courses.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other doubts, guys?
Hi Shiva.
Yes.
Do we cover BI reporting and
Yes.
OTBI?
Yes, it is there in the slide, right? So I'll explain you from scratch how to build the BIP reports, how to write the data model queries, and then how to build the OTBI analysis and the dashboards and all those things. And the existing dashboards also, you should be able to understand how they have been written. So they will be covered when we go into BIP and OTB.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
For Oracle HCM Cloud, there will be no development tool, right? It will be where we write fast formulas, where it can store. It is in front end.
See, fast formulas, there is an editor which is there. It is inside Fusion HCM only. See, this is software as a service. So everything will come with the software only. You don't have to install any tool as such.
Okay, so even for Oracle SQL developer also, I mean for database purpose.
See, database, one thing you have to understand is this is not like the legacy software systems where you can access the database. For Fusion applications, you cannot access the database. Okay, there is only one way that you can access the database inside the Fusion application only, but not as an external database software, install it and try to access the instance. No, you cannot do that.
Executing queries and all also it will done through front end only. Okay.
Yes, through front end only, and it is within the application, and there is only one way of executing the queries, which is in BIP reports. I'll show you how to write the data model. So you can query the database only from there, and limited access is given over there. It's not like EBS where you can access the packages, look into the code. No, it's not like that in Fusion.
Okay. I wants to know what is global HR covers. Means you said there is a separate session for employee recruitment. So what it covers? Talent management.
Global HR covers entirely right from how you bring in an enterprise and the enterprise structures into Fusion HCM. Okay, so like for example, once you implement, you first need to have the implementation users, which we will talk about security and all those things. Then what is the meaning of enterprise and all the enterprise structures like enterprise legal entity, legal employer, PSUs, legal entity registrations, entity HCM information, reporting units, PSUs, legal address, jurisdiction authority. So it contains implementing of all these things. Then we will also discuss about all the, let me just show you. In global HR, we are going to discuss about all these building blocks which are available over here. Okay, enterprise, legal address, LDG, legal entity HCM information, jurisdictions, authorities, legal reporting units which are required for payroll purpose like tax reporting units. Then we'll talk about business units, reference data sets, then locations, divisions, departments, organizations, various type of organizations, organization trees. Okay, then we have salary basis, grades, grade rates, grade ladders, and everything about grade steps and all those things. Then we will also talk about jobs and positions. And once we finish all these things, then only we can hire an employee. And once the employee is hired, we will look into various global HR administrative transactions like global transfer, change manager, change location, change position. So a lot of things are there in the administration area. So we'll look into all those things as such. The first session will be an introductory session today, and there will be 3 demo sessions, right? 3 to 4 demo sessions will be there. After these 3 to 4 demo sessions, the entry into the course will be based on the enrollment basis as such, right? So these demo sessions, this is the first demo session. Of course, it is part of the course, but yes, it's a demo session which is free for everyone to join over here. And we would cover a lot of things in global HR as such, along with the administrative transactions. And the second session, which I'll cover, navigations. See, before an instance is given to you or an instance is given to you, you should know where to navigate to perform any task. If you don't know that, then functionally we cannot do anything in Fusion. So what I would do is I will spend 1.5 hour session on the entire navigations which are there in Fusion HCM, so that you will be able to easily understand, which module, where to go, as what type of user. So you are an admin user, what is the navigation? You are a line manager, what is the navigation? You are a normal employee, what is the navigation? If you are a consultant, or which means you are using the system, but you are not an employee in the company for which you are implementing, what is the navigation? So all those things we are going to see as such. I will also cover different types of UIs which are there for different modules. Like for example, we have classic UIs, we have mobile responsive UIs, and we also have VBCS UIs. VBCS UIs is Visual Builder Code Source UIs. Oracle is moving away from mobile responsive UIs into VBCS UIs. So this Visual Builder UIs, these are HTML pages with Redwood design patterns, backed up by the REST APIs and JavaScript for validations on the front end. So this is the trend which is going on now. All the employee self-service UIs are almost migrated into VBCS UIs, and maybe in an year, the rest of the administrative UIs also will be moved into VBCS. So once you know what are the REST APIs which are available, and you can build your own VBCS UIs as well, right? So what is the difference between these types of UIs, you can ask? UI means user interface, or the look and feel of the application. So classic UI and mobile responsive UI, they are ADF based. Okay, so they are not available for, you can only customize them. But VBCS UI, you can build it right from scratch as such. And these pages have been converted into VBCS UI, like it's like an open stack which they are going towards, instead of going with the ADF, which is Oracle's technology. So instead of going with ADF, they are converting all these particular UIs into the VBCS UIs. So we'll look into how the VBCS UIs will be there as such in every navigation, in every module. So this is one thing which you have to know as such, right? So any further doubts? Any further doubts, guys?
Could you please elaborate on basically what the payroll concepts deals with? So do you show how to run a payroll, the payment methods?
Okay. So if you are asking about payroll, I would cover everything in payroll, right from banks, the bank branches, the accounts, the payment methods, different types of payment methods, organization, personal payment, third party, how to create payroll definitions using consolidated groups, and how to associate these organization payment methods, which in turn are associated with the bank accounts. Then we'll talk about how to create payroll different elements using element template, different types of element classifications which are there for every country, and what happens when you create an element. We'll look into the element inputs. We will define the eligibility for the element inputs. We'll show how to hire an employee using the payroll which is created, and add these payroll elements and the salary basis, which contains the base pay or the base salary of the employee. And then we look into different calculation cards which are there in payroll in Fusion. Then we will run the payroll flows. So we have huge amount of payroll flows which are there. Like for example, we will start with the payroll run. Then we'll go to prepayments, then the payments, archival, pay slip, gross to net reports, run result report, register report, Then we'll have activity reports, payroll run messages. Then we will look into the payslip process, and until you move the data into the general ledger with a flow, we will cover end-to-end all the processes which are there. And we will also cover how to set up all these things, and I'll give you an explanation of the various processes which are there: rollback, retry, reverse, elements, and balances. We'll talk about balances, balance groups, and balance group usages, and how they are used extensively in extracts in Fusion. And any reporting in Fusion is based on balance group usage. We'll talk about run types, which contain regular and supplemental, and then we'll also talk about object groups. And the country specific, we'll talk about balances also. The country specific reports, you will have to look into the country specific implementation guide. Like, for example, every country has its own payroll implementation guide. So when we go to navigations tomorrow, I'll show you all those things. And yes, we will cover a lot of things in payroll. Does that answer your question? Whoever has asked it.
Yeah.
Okay, Akshita, yes, what is your question?
Yeah, like after the class is completed, if we have any doubt at the mid of the day, can we contact you at that time, or another day morning only we can clarify the doubt?
See, as long as the course is going on, you can always ask doubts during the session. Okay. If you are after the session, if you get doubt, I can point you to the reference where your doubts can be clarified. In spite of that, if your doubt is not clarified, please ask me in the next day session. But after the end of the course, if you have any doubts anywhere in your implementation, and you are not able to answer those or resolve those queries after looking at the references which we have, then you can drop a mail to Prasad. He will forward it to me. I'll respond to that query. We cannot share our contact details.
Okay. And next, please, for this functional part, what will be done? Like implementation as an employee, implementation as an administrator, like that, everything will be covered, or only as an employee it will be covered?
No, I'll cover everything. See, implementing means employee will not implement, right? You are working in a company, let's say, right? That company's software has to be implemented by somebody who knows how to implement it. And those people are guys like you who are consultants. So the client will go and hire people who are experienced in the implementation of that particular modules. And then you as an employee in that company will be using that particular application. So you are not going to implement that, but you as a consultant are going to implement. So we will take a look at admin navigations. We'll take a look at line manager navigations. We'll take a look at employee navigation. So all type of navigations we will cover for each and every module as such.
Okay, and for this payroll, for all the modules, whatever is covered in the course, hands-on hands-on experience will be there, right?
See, I'll give you the practice things to practice for each one of them, and you can get the workbook available for the config workbook at the end of the course. You can get it for practicing purpose, and the slides which are there. So you will get these PowerPoint slides. Once you enroll into the course, you will get the access to the PowerPoint slides for the entire course as well. And these you can review. And basically, I just don't go through the slides one by one and then finish the course. Now, that's not my way of teaching it. So I give you the background. I take you through the application entirely. I talk about it, and then after I have finished everything, then only I go through the slides, because slides contain, they don't contain fully, or, some of the concepts which I explain may not be there in the slides. So the slides are there for just for reference for you. You can access those slides anytime.
Okay.
So in the slides, you will have some practice exercise which will be there. And I will also give you some practice exercise based on in your current company, what is the module which you are working on, or which module you are interested in. You can bring up some use cases during the session, or if you have any doubts, we can just discuss those things as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, any other doubts, guys?
What about performance management? Is it covered in this?
Yes, I have already given that, right? So we have global HR, absence management, payroll, goals, profile performance management, data loader, spreadsheet data loader, BIP, OTBI reports, HCM extracts, fast formulas, workflow approvals, customizations. Yes. And we will also cover security. We will also cover the entire navigations tomorrow once we finish this introductory session. Okay, so thank you, everybody. That was a good doubt session. So let's jump into this thing. So we'll look into what is this Oracle Fusion applications, and what are product families, and what are the different models we have, the on-premise model and the cloud model, subscription models, and how does Fusion upgrades happen, and the overview of HCM, that is the life cycle of any employee inside the HCM, and then the course content which you have already seen. At the end of every slide, you do have the mobile number of Prasad, and you also have the email address. So you can talk to Prasad on the enrollment specifications as such. So what is this Oracle Fusion Cloud? It's basically 3 words you see: Oracle Fusion Cloud. So Oracle has been primarily in 2000s, or since 20 years back, it has been a database management company. From there, it has moved on to become, ERP vendor, right? And throughout this 20-25 years of journey, it has acquired many other companies as well, right? So it has acquired PeopleSoft, Siebel. So like that, it has acquired, many other companies which are ERP vendors themselves. So Oracle has taken the best in capabilities of all those, best in capabilities of all the ERP functionalities which are there in various ERP vendors, and came up with a new ERP software which is called Fusion. And this software is, now you come to the third word, which is cloud. So cloud has been on boom since 15 years, right? Close to 15 years. So 15 to 20 years. So what is this cloud is? Gone are those days where you have to install any software on your system. The days are like you don't have to install anything in your system. It is available, or it is provided by some software provider or vendor. Okay, and it is there on cloud. You just have to subscribe to that, and then you can use that particular cloud. You can use that software. So which is there on cloud. So you just need internet. You just need a laptop. You should know who is providing the cloud service. So in cloud, we talk in terms of service as such. So you should know who is providing the cloud service as such, and then how to access that particular subscription. So based on how much you use the software, you will have to pay that much, and then use the software asset. So Oracle Fusion Cloud. So it's entirely about Fusion applications being available in the cloud and not on the on-premise. So this entire Fusion is basically, it's a integrated suite of business applications which is grouped into product families. So product families are nothing but, what is a product family? So product families you see over here, like financial management, HCM is one product family, financials is one product family, supply chain is one product family. You have project portfolio management, you have procurement, you have CRM, you have GRC. So these are all product families, right? It is not the case that every client who is implementing Fusion applications will implement all of these. They can choose which product family they want to implement. Plus, they can also choose within the product family which products they want to implement. Like, for example, it is not necessary that under HCM, everybody implement compensation or everybody implement payroll. The payroll can be outsourced as well, right? So, or it's not necessary that everybody who implements HCM implement absence or implement benefits. So it depends on what is the requirement of the client, what are the modules inside the product family. So you have various product families which are integrated together under one umbrella called Fusion applications. And each of these product family will contain products. So somebody might want to implement financials and HR, right? So they don't want to implement others. So they will go through all the modules which are there in financials. And you have a separate course for Fusion Financials. You can check with Prasad on that. And if you're interested in that, then you can enroll into that course, right? Similarly, supply chain also, there is a separate course. So each of these product families, whichever are there over here, right? So they are integrated in this Fusion application. So when you get Fusion applications, you can implement as a client any of these product families, and the products you can choose inside these product families for implementation, right? It's not that if you are implementing HCM, you must implement all of the products inside that. No, you can choose what you want to implement and implement only those things. Now you take a look at the technology stack which is there, right? The technology stack for on-premise versus the subscription models which are there in the cloud. Okay, the subscription models which are there in the cloud. So on-premise is like, see, for any software, if you have to create a new software, you have to make that software available to the public. You should manage, you should have a runtime, you should give access to that software. So all those things are part of the tech stack over here, right? From applications, this is the front end which you access for the software, and this is the database, and this is the runtime or the middleware part of that particular stack. And beneath, you have entirely networking with the virtual machines and all those things available. So for any software, it must follow this stack as such, right? So if you take a look at Fusion, or if you take a look at any ERP, EBS, PeopleSoft, these are all what you call EBS is a on-premise model. Okay, it is not a cloud model. So what is on-premise means? At the customer's site, they have to implement all these things. They have to worry about networking. They have to worry about storage, servers, virtualization, middleware, the database installations, and the application. So they have to install all these things and set up the EBS application or the legacy application, right? The cloud provider is not going to manage the costs which are incurred in handling all these things. Now coming to the cloud subscription models, we have 3 subscription models: infrastructure as service, platform as service, and software as service. So if you take a look at these, as the name indicates, this is infrastructure as a service. So here, if you see, if the client says, I don't have the budget, or I don't have the people who can manage this hardware part of it, right? They have to go and hire consultants who are, or hire administrators who are having experience in these areas, right? So it is a cost for the client. So they say that I don't have experience and I don't want to put that budget. So I want to go for the companies who provide these as a service to me so that I can reduce my cost. So this part of the thing which is there, it is managed by the provider. So the networking, the storage, the servers, and the virtualization, everything will be handled by the cloud vendor. And then these things, you have to manage it once you get these from the cloud vendor. Now, this is one model. So this is the hardware part, which you take it as a service. Then you have the platform as a service. So on top of the hardware, you need the platform, right? The Java, JDeveloper, the database as a service. So let's say you don't want to install database, or you don't want to install a software, you want to use that. So that is platform as service. Like, for example, gone are those days when I have to write a Java program. I had to install Java on my system. I have to set the environment variables. I have to open the notepad, write the code, execute it using command line, and then see the output. So gone are those days, right? 20 years back, it was the way how you had to write the Java programs. Now you have got online Java editors in the browser. You can just open an internet URL, and then you can write in the program there. You can execute the program. You can see the output there itself. So those kind of pages, they come under the platform as service. You're not installing Java. You don't need to install Java for this, right? I just need to know the URL of that, and then I have to write the program, execute it there, and then I can run it and see the output. So that is platform as service. Now here, this is only the client has to only worry about how to use that application and the data part of it, right, or the database. Now come to the software as service, including the application and the database is provided or managed by the provider. So this is a software as a service. So that is why you will not have to install the database, as is the case over here. Here in Fusion, Fusion is implemented as a software as a service or a model. You will not be able to install any database and try to access the instance. The instance itself, or the instance which you see over here, this instance itself, you will get it with the database as such. This instance which you get it, you will get it with the database implicitly. So Fusion is implemented as a software as a service model in cloud. It is not as a platform or is not as an infrastructure. So that's why functional consultants have a lot of demand, because the applications is also provided by the provider, the ERP provider, right, the cloud provider. And if you don't know how to use the application, then you will not be able to do anything over there. So functional consultants, there is a lot of demand. On top of that, it is a little bit access. There is a very little access to the technical aspects. But if you have to, become a techno-functional consultant, and if you're keen on becoming a technical consultant as well, you must first become a functional consultant and then go into the technical. It's not the other way around as such, right? So first you must master the functional aspects of the application, then only you can go into the technical aspects, right? So what is the difference between this on-premise and the cloud? So this on-premise, if you see, you have to invest upfront. You have to purchase the data centers, the hardware. You have to hire IT people or IT staff who are having experience in database admin, in networking and all those things. And the client has to pay. The client has to, pay them basically for implementing as such. Then you have the security and access you have to worry about as a client. The customer has to own the upgrade. Oracle is not going to upgrade the releases as such. Oracle is going to just say that, okay, the patch has been released. If you're interested, please go ahead and upgrade that for getting the new functionality, right? Then you have annual support cost, which is there. Then you have networking. Everything has to be managed by the client in on-premise, okay? But when it comes in cloud, you rent the service and you pay as you grow. The backup is automatically done by the cloud provider. You can access it anywhere because it is just the requirement of a URL. And the performance will be good. The upgrades will be done automatically by the cloud provider. You have quarterly upgrades. We'll talk about that. And then security we'll cover in the next few sessions. That is it's a provider's responsibility. Customizations are possible and you can have modernized UI. So in cloud, all these things are possible, but in on-premise, the client has to take care of these things. But in cloud, the cloud provider provides all these things. So you don't have to hire people who are experienced in, the hardware part or the other, virtual machines or the data center management and all those things, because that is anyway provided by the cloud provider, right? So then we go to the upgrade schedule. How are the Fusion applications upgraded, right? They are quarterly upgrades and there will be patch fixes. So for this, I have to explain a few things over here for you. Since we came at the end of the time of 1 hour. So I'll cover these things, upgrades and how upgrades happen. What are the releases? How does this upgrade happen across all the customers? What is the weekly bundles, cumulative weekly bundles, and what is the quarterly upgrade, major releases? I'll just cover that quickly tomorrow before we go into the session. And as I told you, any employee in any ERP software has to go through this life cycle. And this life cycle in Fusion, how it is implemented is what we are going to see throughout the course, right? And as I said, these are going to be the contents of the course, which we'll cover. Tomorrow, I will quickly finish this upgrade part of it and how the patch fixes will go. And we will jump into the navigations. So what are all the navigations which are there? As an employee, as a line manager, as an admin, I will cover all those things so that you will have a high level overview, right? Because if you don't know the navigations, then as a functional consultant, you will not be able to do anything. Okay. So first thing is navigations. for all these features, whichever we are going to look into in every module, right? So that you can explore more, even if I'm not there, after the session, you can explore more as well. Then we will go into security, how security is handled, and then we will cover the global HR after. We will start with the global HR. So any doubts, guys?
No, Shiva.
No, Shiva, it's good.
One question, Shiva.
Yeah.
Traditionally, ERP systems in organizations where there is support, you have this admin, then technical, and then the functional. So from what I'm seeing here in the SAS model, in the Fusion, on your based on your experience, how is it now? Is it a one-man show, or is it a?
It is purely, as I said, it is purely functional. There will be an implementation consultant who will be the admin, who will implement it for the company. That's all. Or there will be a group of implementation consultants.
Okay, and post-implementation, that support would be just like one man, or is it still spread across when you compare to olden days to now?
No, it will be very few people who will be providing the support because it is entirely functional. They will not have separate people for payroll separately, core HR separately, because it will be combined. So people who are working on payroll, because payroll is a bigger chunk, there will be one or two people separately. But for all global HR talent, there will be one person only.
Okay, and they generally take care of security as well, onboarding and other stuff.
So you will have anyway security admin, one guy who is separate, if they want to have it. So we'll talk about different types of users, different types of user accounts. So these implementation consultants are responsible for creating the application users. That application users can be employees, managers, admin, another security admin, or further implementation consultants also.
All right.
Okay, thank you, everybody. It was a good session. Please join again tomorrow at the same time, 7:30 a.m. We will look into the upgrades and then we'll look into all the navigations as such. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.